Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the month of March 2023 and the life path forecast for the month ahead. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss when I post. And of course, thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Personal month forecasts, which will include, of course, the moon forecasts, those will be coming sometime next week, I anticipate, so keep your eye out for those. And of course, they are different from the life path forecasts, and they do have different calculations. So be aware of that, and definitely check yours out once they land. Like I said, I expect that to be sometime next week. This, of course, is a general reading. For a personal reading or a coaching with numerology session with me, you can book some time with me. Of course, my information is in the description box below to do that. Okay, so March 2023 is 10-1 energy. So you may have seen some things close out in the month of February. Some things coming to fruition, completion, things falling away, creating a clean slate, right? So March, we have this beautiful clean slate to create whatever it is that we wish to create, to take some big risks, to take some some initiations, to initiate some new things, right? To be somewhat aggressive in that approach and to go after what it is that our hearts desire. This, of course, is going towards those sort of individual goals, those big new starts when it comes to self. The one energy is very much focused on self and identity and going after, again, what it is that we feel called to go after at this moment, and what it is that we feel called to create or initiate, and to do that in a way that, again, we're taking the initiative to do that. One energy forces us to take the initiative to get started on something. And it may look different than what we had anticipated it would look like. And a lot of times with one energy, that's very normal. It can be so outside the box that a lot of people don't understand it, and that's okay. Follow your instincts, follow your intuition, follow your heart at this time, and really take those big risks on the things that really speak to you the most. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the individual life path forecast, taking all this into consideration. Life path number 6. So the animal wisdom that came through for you all for March is with frog energy. And so with frog energy coming through, this definitely sort of coincides with the energy that you all are working with for March, but there's definitely this call for like contemplation, for taking things a little bit slowly. You may also feel sort of apathetic, like having like not a lot of lust for life, kind of just wanting to, again, just take things a little bit more slowly, like slow down a little bit, feeling sort of disinterested or not feeling a lot of drive. It's interesting because we are under this universal umbrella of the one, and so it can very much, you can feel sort of like push-pull energy for sixes, because you've got the one energy of the universal cycle, but then you've also got frog energy coming through, and you're also working with 16-7 energy this month. And so there's a lot here about like push-pull. Like you might have these things you want to initiate and get started and be more aggressive about, or be more assertive. But then you have sort of this kind of like more like need for self-soothing, like nurturing, contemplation, just sort of being the observer, not really feeling a lot of the drive or the need for taking big risks or taking the initiation. And that's fine, right? Sometimes we go through those periods where we need to do that. I would just say make sure you're finding your balance between the two, right? Because with frog energy coming through, there's also the potential for new opportunities. And so you just need to really check in with yourself and just see, is this something I want to pursue? If it is, you've got the energy of the one behind you that's really pushing you, that's like that fire that's saying, go for it. But then you also have the energy of the 16-7 that sixes are working with this month that is saying, take the time out for solitude, take the time for self-contemplation. This can be a great opportunity to sort of come through with some self-realizations, some self-awareness, some spiritual breakthroughs. But again, that all requires like some downtime, typically some time for meditation, for removing yourself from the more chaotic experiences. So, if you think about a frog who's just sitting on a lily pad, just chilling, right? It's that kind of energy that you all are sort of working with this month in correlation with or in tandem with the energy of the universal energy cycle, which is one, right? So you've got again, it's kind of push-pull energy. So you just have to kind of find your balance between the two. But definitely some time for some new opportunities to come your way. Again, with frog energy, it kind of feels like the energy is coming to you, like the opportunities are coming to you. It's not necessarily those things that you need to initiate. However, because we're also in a universal one cycle, it could be that the opportunity presents itself and then you have to make some kind of quick decision and then be decisive and take initiation at that point. That's very possible. With 16/7 energy, which is what you all are working with this month, there's definitely some things that could come up around health. Pay attention to whatever surfaces that doesn't feel right, that feels off, that might need some additional attention. Or if there's something new you want to try, some kind of new regimen, if there's something, if you want to, I don't know, whatever it is, if you want to change your diet, if you want to start going to a new health program, this is a great month to do that because the focus for you all is really going to be around health and how you feel, right? It's so much less about what you look like as opposed to how you feel. So if there's something that doesn't feel good and you want to feel better, then this will be the month that will kind of present it. Things will present themselves to you in the way of new opportunities to help you to feel better, right? And that goes for physical, spiritual, mental health, right? There could be some changes, some detours that come about that could bring about some big, again, realizations, awakenings, self-actualization, right? That maybe shift the way that you do things so that you're no longer, the new awareness. Once you have that awareness, you can't go back to not having it. So having that clarity or that awareness will then sort of force you to change direction in some way. And so you're in control of what that looks like. But this could be a month really just to kind of contemplate and decide okay, I'm aware of this now. I have this awareness. Let me think about, or let me feel into, let me meditate on how I want to move forward, right? That is very, very possible. It's very possible under 7 energy that big answers to big questions come in for you this month. That doesn't mean that you have to take action on them right away. And I think with frog energy coming through and the energy of the 16/7, you may not be meant to take those big initiations, but it's kind of the awareness is the big energy coming through. And then you can kind of decide how you want to work with that. So definitely potentially some big, some clarity coming in, some big changes. A lot of times with 16/7 energy, it can feel like a lot of shifts really fast, back to back to back to back. And so sometimes when we have that energy that we're working with, we have to find our footing. And in order to do that, we need to sort of embody frog energy and just chill and just observe and just sort of try to understand what's occurring and then make a plan of how we want to move forward. So it is very possible that there could be quite a bit that's coming in that's trying to shake the foundation to make you aware of something that maybe you weren't aware of before. So, and then you are in the sort of driver's seat to decide what you want to do with that energy and how you want to move with it, which is integral, right? So potentially a big month for you all. Anytime we have 7 energy coming in, there's usually some kind of possibility for some kind of awakening, some kind of understanding, some kind of greater understanding, whether it's about our life, about a situation, about a relationship, whatever. And then once we have that awareness, what are we going to do with it, right? Because that's going to make the difference. So potentially a big year or big month for you all. So I hope it's a beautiful one. Take care. Bye for now.